Okay, so we all love that feeling, right? When you're out there on the court and you just nail that serve or finally smash a winner down the line, you know?
It's the best.
It is. It's the best. But have you ever actually, like, stopped to think about all the things that go into...
All the pieces that have to come together.
Yeah, like, it's not just you, right? There's the equipment, the coaching, I mean, even
for sure.
the food you eat, right?
Yeah.
But one thing I feel like we don't talk about enough is the racket stringing.
Like stringer.
Yes.
Unsung heroes.
They are. They're like the unsung heroes of these moments of, like, sports glory.
Right.
And it turns out there's a whole science to it.
Oh, yeah.
And an organization called Best Stringer Worldwide, or BSW.
I see what you did there. BSW.
BSW.
Yeah.
They're trying to make, like, expert stringing, like, the industry standard.
So needed, though.
It is needed, and you've actually sent some really interesting stuff about that.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
So clearly you're as curious as I am. So
let's dive in.
Let's unpack this whole BSW thing.
Okay, so what's really cool about Best Stringer Worldwide is that they're tackling something that most people, I think, don't even really consider.
Yeah.
You know? Like, they address the impact that the actual stringing has
Oh, interesting.
on the racket's performance.
Oh, wow.
It's not just like
Because it's easy to think...
thread and a needle.
Yeah, it's easy to think, like, oh, isn't it just someone, like, putting the strings on?
Yeah, my nephew can do that.
Right, exactly.
But it's so much more
It's way more than
the
that.
tension, the type of string,
Okay.
even the pattern, like how it's strung.
Wow.
Huge difference.
So, I mean, are we talking, like...
Oh, yeah.
This could be, like, the difference between winning and losing a match?
Absolutely. Like, if you have your racket strung too tightly, you lose power.
Okay.
You can get tennis elbow.
Oh.
If it's too loose, you lose control.
Right.
So it's finding that sweet spot.
It's finding that...
And a good stringer, I mean, they will talk to you about your game.
Right.
What you're
looking to...
what you want to achieve.
Okay.
They'll recommend different strengths.
So they're, like, almost like another coach.
They kind of are, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and so BSW, they want to be that. They want to be that trusted resource, you know, that guarantee of quality.
Right, because it's hard to know. It's just like casual player.
You don't know. Yeah, who to go to.
Right.
Unless you're, like, you know, professional or you're
Right, exactly.
really in the know.
So they want to be that kind of, like...
That's what they're trying to do.
Okay.
Is be that resource so that you know.
So, you know, if you see the BSW, like, stamp of approval...
You know they've been certified.
You know it's going to be...
They know what they're doing.
Yes. Okay.
Like, it's like finding a good mechanic, right?
Yeah.
You don't want just anyone.
Right. You want someone who's certified.
Exactly, yeah. You want someone who's certified, someone who knows.
Right. You don't want just anybody.
Right. Tinkering under the hood of your car.
Someone who knows what they're doing.
So how do they actually make sure that the people who get this certification are, like, up to snuff?
Yeah, so they've developed these really comprehensive assessment programs for stringers, and they cover...
So they're not just like a directory.
No.
They're actually, like, training.
They're trained.
People.
Yes.
Okay.
They're training people. They're evaluating their skills.
Wow.
It's very thorough, so...
So what kind of stuff are we talking, like...
So everything from the technical aspects,
From,
like
like,
proper tensioning techniques, which is, you know, that's crucial,
Right.
to even things like customer service.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and knowledge of the different types of strings.
So, like, they need to know.
Because there are so many different types of strings.
Oh, really? Oh, my gosh. You got
I would never even thought about that.
natural gut, polyester, multi-filament, like...
Wow. What's the difference?
Oh, man, it's a whole other
Okay.
deep dive.
We'll save that for another day, maybe.
We'll save that for another day. But
Okay.
the point is, they need to be experts on all this stuff.
Wow.
And, you know, they need to be able to assess a player's needs.
Right.
And make recommendations.
Okay.
So it's really about ensuring consistency
Right.
and quality, like, across the board.
So they're not just setting the standards, they're actively training people.
They're training people to meet them.
Right.
Which I think is fantastic.
Right.
Because it shows a real commitment
Yeah.
to elevating the entire field.
Yeah. So it's not just enough to say, this is what good stringing is. They're like, we're going to teach people.
Yes, exactly. We're going to empower them with the knowledge,
Wow.
with the skills. So that's really the goal.
So what I find really interesting here is, like,
Yeah.
they're not just setting the standards. They're not just training people, but they're actually driving demand for certified stringers too, right?
That's huge, right?
Right.
Because if nobody's asking for a certified stringer,
right,
then what's the point?
it doesn't really matter.
Right, exactly.
So how are they doing that?
So they have these things called recognition arrangements,
Okay,
which sounds very official.
it does sound official.
It's basically
Fancy way of saying
partnerships, right? You partner with different organizations
Okay.
to promote the importance of certified stringing.
So who are they partnering with? Like,
So this could be like tennis clubs,
okay,
sports retailers, coaching associations,
good.
and even like tournament organizers.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so they're really trying to get the word out there.
So it's like if you're a tournament
Right.
and you want to have like
You want the best.
the best, you want to make sure your stringers are good.
Exactly.
So you're
You're gonna look for that certification.
look for the BSW thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, I mean, for the average person,
Right.
think about it like this. Imagine you're just like
Yeah.
looking for like a new tennis coach online.
Right.
And you see like some coaches have like this BSW thing
Yeah.
on their
Profile. Yeah.
their credential.
Yeah, like they're certified by BSW.
You're going to be more likely to choose that coach
Yeah, because you're like,
because you know that they're taking
they've got that extra
step.
that extra something.
Right, exactly. So it's a mark of quality
Okay.
and expertise, which is huge.
So they're really trying to make it like a well-known thing.
Yes, they want it to be the standard.
Got it.
So that when you see BSW,
Yeah,
you know
what it means.
it's good. Yeah.
And speaking of like commitment,
Yes,
did you know that BSW is a not-for-profit?
I did. And I think that's huge
I mean,
because it really highlights their dedication
yeah,
to elevating the craft, you know.
right.
It's not about
It's not about making money, it's about improving the industry
So they're really doing it for
for the love of the game.
the love of the game,
Yeah.
not the love of the money.
Not about the money, exactly.
Uh-uh.
And I think that's really commendable.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what does this all mean for someone who's, might be listening and
Yeah.
thinking, okay, that's all very interesting, but like, does this actually affect me?
Yeah, so it boils down to this. BSW is trying to make sure that wherever you are in the world,
Okay.
you can find a qualified professional
Okay.
to string your racket.
Okay.
They want you to have the best possible playing experience.
Right.
And proper stringing is a huge part of that.
Because it's not just about
It's not just about the racket.
the racket.
It's about how it's strung and how it feels when you play.
So it's making it so that like everyone has access to this. Like,
Exactly. They're bringing the world of like professional stringing
yeah,
to everyone
to everyone,
and making it accessible.
which is really cool. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
And what I find even more interesting is how like this model that they've come up with
Right.
could be applied to like
Totally.
so many other industries.
It's a great model for like setting standards
right.
and building a certification process.
Right.
For any industry where you have these like specialized skills.
Like, what else could we be doing this for?
Oh my gosh. Think about like
Oh, yeah.
bicycle mechanics,
Okay.
piano tuners.
Right, like all these things.
Like
like
how
that,
you-
where it's like you kind of need an expert.
Yeah, you need an expert, but how do you know?
Right.
Right.
Unless you.
So that this kind of model
Yeah.
can be applied, which I think it's exciting.
It makes you wonder, like, what other hidden worlds
All of it.
of like
The expertise.
are out there just waiting to be discovered
Exactly, yeah.
and standardized.
Waiting for their BSW,
Right.
their moment.
Amazing. Well, that's something to think about.
It's something to ponder.
The next time you pick up your racket or
Or your bike.
your bike,
Yeah.
anything really.
Anything.
Awesome. Well, this was great.
This was really fun, yeah.
Thanks for coming on this deep dive with me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this was awesome.
We're the best stringer worldwide, passion and knowledge side by side. From badminton